Hey guys, welcome back to Leading Edge Cricket Podcast, episode 55, week 3 of 3 of your 6 a.m. Monday morning wake-up call. And what a difference to the process it makes when time differences change and it's now 12 hours between myself and Rich. How are you today, Rich?
I'm very well, mate. I was a bit confused and bamboozled by the fact that it was 8 p.m. here and 8 a.m. there. It just didn't make sense.
It's incredible scenes, incredible. It makes it so much easier. There's part of the year where it's a 13-hour difference, and then the clocks change and it's a 12-hour difference for about 3 weeks, and then things change again and it goes to an 11-hour difference. But when it's a 12-hour difference, it makes it a very easy process, and we'll say, I'll see you at 8. Yeah, okay, I'll see you at 8.
Save it for the difference podcast, Rob.
The time difference podcast that we run on the side.
Shh, don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to listen to it.
It's made things a lot easier for me. Because normally I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I'll see you at 8. And then I always go, what time is it in England? And it shouldn't be that hard.
Well, yes, it really shouldn't. But there you go. What can I say? What can we say? We're back. We're back anyway. It's good. And we're so far so good with getting these pods out. When we say we're going to get them out, we're getting organised, Rob. We're getting better.
We are 3 for 3, mate. We're rocking and rolling like there's no tomorrow, mate. We're rolling back the years.
That's a lot of weird cliche type comments all in one go.
It is. It's rocking or rolling. Is it rocking or rolling?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Intro?
I don't. So today we're going to be talking through all the latest county championship cricket transfer news that's going on, and we've got more cricket that you can shake a stick at. If you ever wanted to shake a stick at cricket, you have India, West Indies, Sri Lanka, India, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Pakistan, Australia, and the big one, the Afghanistan Premier League is underway. Every team's about 5 games down, and they are rolling, and there's more Kiwis in that league than there was in the CPL. It's a thing. Whenever there's a 2020 league, Rich, a Kiwi will be playing there in multiple numbers.
They travel well. That's all we can say. These 2020 competitions around the world, you could basically just merge them all together. The same players pretty much play in the same team, same tournaments. There's no difference. Kiwis everywhere.
There bloody well is. And you can set your watch by. You actually can buy who's going to be playing. You know Brendan McCullum's going to be there. You know Luke Ronk is going to be there. You know Devicic is going to be there. You know someone like Mark Chapman might just appear from left, right. And Kieran Pollard and the West Indies guys, they're making a great living just travelling around the world playing cricket with the same guys week in, week out.
It's not bad living, mate. It's not bad living. And I'm surprised Joe Denley wasn't called up for the England squad. I think he'd have been over there as well, bless him. He seems to be getting to every single other tournament, doesn't he?
It's the way to go. You know what? If I could have my career again, I'd play 12 8-ball overs in the local league, in different leagues on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's my local level equivalent, and have sausage and a pint after the game.
Oh, that was the Wello days, wasn't it?
It
signing on fee, you're definitely going to get a sausage cob and a few chips in the pub afterwards. That was good enough.
Sold straight away. Take my arm, take my money.
Said in the nicest possible way, the worst possible pitch, a shed to get changed in, proper village, but it attracted everybody just because of the sausage cob and a few chips in the local village pub.
It was, but the mower was the best. So to keep the grass short, they put the cows on it and the sheep on it during the week.
So really what we're saying is we were early days, pre-T20, whores basically for the game. We were just going for basically the fee.
We were in it for the sausage.
Oh, Rob, we were before all these others. We were before Alex Hales.
Well, we were before it was cool, mate.
Oh my God, I didn't realise that's how bad it is.
It makes us feel quite old as well.
Just a bit. Shush, move on.
So moving on into the county scenery. So we've got a bit of news coming out, and we've got one half of a famous brother who is on the move.
Yeah, it's not half of a brother, Rob. It is a whole brother. But yes, the famous brother is Joe, and this one is Billy. He's getting famous in his own right to a little bit anyway, especially in an NG1 postcode. But yes, the ins and outs of Trent Bridge continue, mate. Billy Root, he signed a 2-year deal over with Glamorgan. 26-year-old, he was still under contract or not, but he was allowed to make the move as it looks like opportunities are going to be limited for him in 2019, obviously following the signings not have made the likes of Joe Clark, Ben Duckett and Matthew Slater. Ben Slater. Glamorgan, they're looking to rebuild, finished rock bottom of County Championship Division 2, and they said they're after another couple of batsmen as well. So a bit of a move that's divided opinion a little bit from what I've seen. I think a few people are quite frustrated. They think that Billy Root's got a future. He's got plenty to offer. But I Personally, I think he's done okay, but I see it as that Notts are really targeting that kind of higher echelon player going forward. And the likes of Billy Root, with all respect to him, it's probably a good thing for him to move on and allow Notts hopefully to get the right calibre of player in.
Yeah, definitely. It is sad to see young players like this go, but when you go as a young player, the lad's 26 years old. Has he been given a fair run in the team? Probably not. But the question is, has he earned a fair run in the team? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know if he's gone and scored enough second-team cricket runs over the years. His T20 record this year was miserly. You know, he didn't make 150 during the competition. He failed in the last couple of county championship games when he got a run. And it may well have been that those last two county championship games were almost him on trial to go, is he worth another crack next year?
Yeah, I think he's one of them guys as well. I think people from the outside looking in would probably assume that he's probably only a 21, 22-year-old lad, but he's 26 now. So, you know, it is that sort of age. It's, you know, you're looking to give the younger players the opportunity, aren't you? And if they've not quite got to where you want to be, 26, 27, it's probably time to go and have a look somewhere else and see what you do. Massive opportunity for him at Glamorgan. They've had a really disappointing campaign. They're going to be hoping to rebuild, and suddenly the opportunity to actually be part of a key part of a squad for the next summer should be really attractive to any players instead of being a bit part, not quite sure what you're going to get cricket. So, yeah, I can understand the move on both sides of this one. So I think it works well for everybody as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good move for Will Root, and we wish him the best. There's a question, Rich. His name is William Thomas Root, born August 5th, 1992, Sheffield, Yorkshire.
Good.
But everyone calls him Billy Root.
Bill. I mean, why not? A William's a Bill.
Yeah,
Bill's
I don't understand that. Why is the reason?
I don't know, but every William that I've ever come across is all, you know, Billy. I don't know. I don't have answers. Does anyone have an answer?
Here we go. I've got an answer for you. According to Google.
Oh, okay.
It became very popular in the English language after the Norman conquest of England in 1066 and remained so throughout the Middle Ages and into modern era. It's sometimes abbreviated to WIM. How is it ever abbreviated to WIM?
I remember Jonk, who played for Holland and Sheffield Wednesday and others. Maybe he was William.
He was William. That is shortened versions. Other versions include Will, Willie, Bill, Billy. A common Irish form of the name is Liam. There you go. It still doesn't tell us why. It's just said it's been around a long time.
Sorry, I was following all that until you said the common whatever was Liam. How's that close to William or Billy?
I know, the Irish form of the name is Liam.
Oh, Ireland. So, do you know, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but just linking it together, a little bit of news. Niall O'Brien's retired, Rob.
Oh, good old Niall. He had a decent career for himself over the years.
He did. Fourth or fifth highest run scorer for Ireland, and the most dismissals ever by an Irishman. 36 years old, hanging the gloves up.
Yeah, he's had a decent career, you know. He only played in that one test match that they actually got to play in, but his county record's phenomenal, you know. 9,000 runs for an Irish lad playing over in England, played for Kent, Northampton, and averages 35. That's a pretty damn good middle order, lower order wicket keeper in the county championship game. Yeah,
did pretty well, didn't he? So I'm sure we'll add him to our list on the retirement podcast.
Yes, Niall O'Brien. You're up there with Alistair Cook, mate.
He's making a move. Yes, he is. One other bit of news that I thought was quite interesting this week, Rob. Max Waller. I don't know why, but I've always found that name quite funny. It might have been somebody on like what was it, X Factor or something years ago? Was it Rick Waller?
Big
Waller?
Fella. Yes.
Big fella. He was reverse slim, wasn't he? If we want to use cricket parlance. He was reverse slim, bless him. So I don't know why. That's probably why I always find it. And anyone we've called Max, there's a footballer, isn't it, called Max Power? Just Max. It just sounds. Maybe his real name. Talking of names, maybe his Maximum or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, we've gone far too round the houses today. Anyway, Max Waller, white ball only deal. Rob, second of the summer. Peter Trago, he got a white ball deal. With the deals that are coming through at the moment, it seems as if it's actually in the good for everybody. The deal with Peter Trager, he's coming to the end of his career, probably not going to offer enough with the 4-day stuff, so do you know what? Give him a white ball contract.
Yeah.
Max Waller, he's a 30-year-old. He's another one. I'm sure he felt like he was only a young fella, but he's 30. Leggy, mostly a T20 player these days. Somerset Director of Cricket is probably just worth saying, this is a bespoke contract. It's usually when you're trying to design a bathroom, isn't it, for people with lots of money. This is a bespoke contract that will enable Max to be available for all of our Vitality Blast games and will provide him the opportunity to apply his craft across global T20 and T10 competitions outside of the Blast. He can also play in the One Day Cup if required. So, yeah, interesting move, this one. They're obviously just saying, look, he's going to play for us, T20, and he's also going to try and ply his trade around the world.
Yeah, fair enough. His record is pretty shoddy, mate. He averages 50 with the ball in first-class cricket. Sure, let's not give him a red ball contract.
Yeah.
Averages 37 in List A, but averages 23 in T20 cricket with a strike rate of a wicket every 3.5 overs and an economy rate of 7.3. So they're not hideous records at T20 level, but that's quite the interesting point where you are getting guys who aren't good enough to play red ball cricket but are actually going to be very good white ball cricket, and it's giving more people an opportunity to earn a living around the world.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a big name. He's not done a heck of a lot, but he's somebody that's obviously been known around the county circuit. And I just find it interesting. It's just something that I think we want to monitor, isn't it? After all the nonsense of last year with Rashid and Hales and all the rest of it, it's just interesting just to keep an eye on it. Nobody at the minute is not jumping up as if we're losing great talent. These are 30, 35 plus year old fellas that are taking this route. So I think this is probably. I think we're over the worst of it for now. Anyway, put it that way.
Definitely. Also, Rick Waller, Pop Idol 2001.
Pop Idol, not X Factor.
No, he was Pop. Idol before X Factor, and he had 2 UK top 20, 40 hits with "I Will Always Love You" and "Something Inside So Strong."
Good lad. Hope he's doing all right. And I think Reverse Slim was probably the best way I could describe him as well.
I quite like that.
Yeah, definitely. Right, more news, Rob, more news. This is a strange one, and it's also quite a sad one as well. John Hastings, the Australian seamer, 32-year-old, he's having to take some time out from the game after he suffered from a mystery lung condition. It basically means he's been coughing up blood when attempting to bowl. That's horrible. I don't know what's going on. Basically, despite tests, doctors are yet to identify what is causing the issue. Yeah, really sad. So Hastings, he's played one test, 29 ODIs for Australia, but he did retire from those two formats in 2017 to focus on his T20 cricket. He's played in 9 T20s for Australia, by the way, and was all set to play for Sydney Sixers in the upcoming Big Bash League starting December the 19th. Speaking to an Aussie radio station, RSN, he said that it's something that over probably the last 3 or 4 months has been a really difficult period for me. It's basically every time I've been trying to gear up and get ready to bowl, it's pretty shattering. It's pretty shattering. Mate. Anyway, I've played this game my whole life and I wanted to keep playing it. I wanted to play tournaments all around the world. That's one of the reasons I retired early from the 1-day and 4-day cricket. To see it maybe slipping away, it's pretty tough to take. And at this stage, unless something miraculous happens, I won't be able to bowl. Really, really shitty news, that is. Horrible. Especially when you can't put your finger on. There's nothing worse if there's something going wrong with you that you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So just horrible news. I hope John Hastings gets himself sorted out. And he can come back playing, or at the very least, he can make sure he lives a long and healthy life. But yeah, really horrible news there, Rob.
Yeah, it is actually. It's interesting reading the articles wrapped around it because he's basically saying, I can do stuff. It's not running. I can box. I can do weights, rowing, anything like that. But as soon as he bowls at full intensity, that's when it happens. It's obviously. There's much more medical professionals than myself trying to work it out. But at the moment, I'm just going, WTF, something's wrong. There needs to be more testing to try and work out what's going on. But it is a shame for the guy. He's only 32, almost 33 years old, and he's still got a hell of a lot of T20. He's going to set to play in the Big Bash this year. He's got a hell of a lot of cricket in front of him and a hell of a lot of life that hopefully they can get himself fixed for.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So all the best to him.
And talking about Australians and Australian cricket, there appears to be the first test match that Australia are playing since the whole sandpaper gate has been going on, Rich. And John Hastings, although he's got a lung condition, is a beautiful segue to go and talk about that game.
Tenuous at best. He's Australian, therefore let's talk about Australia. But I like it. Pakistan-Australia, the series is underway, Rob. The first test in Dubai ended in a draw, thanks to an incredible performance from Usman Khwaja, who saved the game for the New Look Australians after it looked like Pakistan would easily get the win. This is what we need to call them now, the New Look Australians or New Look Aussies, anything like that. That is what they need to be called for the time being at least. The New Look Australians gave debuts to Aaron Finch, Travis Head and Marcus? Should we just call him Marcus? Labashang? Whilst Pakistan gave a first cap to spinner Bilal Asif. So, yeah, just incredible performance from a certain Usman Khawaja, Rob. It looked for all the world that Pakistan were going to win this game. I think they had about 140 overs to bowl Australia out, and they just couldn't do it. Australia did hang on. So we'll rattle through this one if we can. Rob, 482 Pakistan batting first. Big scores. Mohammad Hafiz 126, 110 for Haris Sohail, 80 for Asad Shafiq, and 76 for Imal ul Haq. All round, 3 for 58 for Peter Siddle, recalled Peter Siddle, 2 for 114 for Nathan Lyon. John Holland was in there, 1 for 126. He's a relative newcomer to the scene as well. In response, not a good performance. 202 all out for Australia. Khawaja 85, Aaron Finch 62, 50 on debut for the experienced white ball specialist until now. Marsh as vice captain, he got himself 12. Bit of a middle order and lower order collapse there, so that kind of put the death knell to Australia. 2 for 160, Rob, and then there were 202 all out. I think that tells you everything you need to know about that collapse.
Yeah,
dangerous, isn't it? Yeah, 4 for 29 off 19 for Mohammad Abbas, and then debutant Bill Al-Asif 6 for 36 off 21.3 overs. Top stuff. Just over 1.5 and over for the young fella. In response again, Imal ul Haq got himself a 48. He had a good games. Haris Sohail 39, 41 for Asad Shafiq. Babar Azam 28 not out as Pakistan declared on 181 for 6, setting Australia a pretty big score. Let's put it that way for them to win the game. So at this point, you're thinking Pakistan well in control, setting it up, giving themselves plenty of time to bowl Australia out, and all they could do was get them 8 down. 362 for 8 meant it was match drawn. And it was really thanks to a mammoth effort from Usman Khawaja. 141, Rob, off 302 balls, 524 minutes. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Aaron Finch, 49, cracking game for him. 72 for Travis Head, also on debut. And 61 not out for Tim Payne, who was basically the man that really batted with Khawaja. 219 minutes, 194 balls. I even like the little Nathan Lyon knock at the end. 5 runs, 34 balls, 48 minutes. So brilliant for that. Mopping things up, a good test match. 7 wickets in the game from Mohammad Abbas, 3 for 56, 4 for 114 for spinner Yasir Shah. Usman Khawaja, man of the match, rightly so. Incredible effort. Australia showing that they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it's everything that Australian cricket has personified for years and years is grit, determination and being hard to beat. And if there's one thing this Australian team needed to go out to the world stage and to the Australian cricket fans and public and go, we are still strong, we are still tough. And they've done exactly that. They made some bold moves. Aaron Finch as an opener in Test cricket. Well, I'm going to put it out there. It's worked. The guy's gone and scored over 100 runs in the Test match, and that is a decent effort for a guy coming in from a white ball specialist effort. Sure, Mitchell Marsh didn't quite work, but Khawaja, 220 runs in the Test match, one of the finest rearguard performances that you're ever going to see. And you look at it and you go, he's just batted well. It's not a case he's just shut up shop. He's actually batted at a 46 strike rate, which in Test match cricket is pretty damn quick. But between him and Tim Payne, they just took all the life out of the game. It was a really, really just incredible effort by the two of them and by Australian cricket. It really does go to show. Because we've been going, there's no depth, there's no depth, there's no depth. Well, actually, the guys that are still in the team, minus Warner and Bancroft and Smith, they're not bad.
No, absolutely. And it's nice to see Peter Siddle come back. You've still got Mitch Stark. You've got Nathan Lyon in there. Obviously, with the conditions, they're playing the two spinners, aren't they? But yeah, the squad looks okay. Travis Head's come in and done well. Mitch Marsh, obviously, like you say, 12 and none on for him on this Test match, not so good. But Finch has batted really well. Khawaja opening the batting as well. Bit of a strange one. We expected potentially. It could have been somebody else at the top of the order, but Khawaja got the nod. He's obviously usually batting number 3, isn't he, for Australia? So yeah. Nearly 9 hours batting, Rob. Do you know the stat I love as well? 9 hours of batting, nearly 11 boundaries.
Yeah,
11 boundaries. That's it. Brilliant. Just what an absolute gutsy performance. Good performances, not quite all round. Obviously, Labuschagne didn't do a heck of a lot, but Bill Al-Asif as well. 6 wickets for him. 6 for 36. I jokingly called young fella earlier or whatever I said, but he's been waiting a long time for an opportunity. He's 33 years of age, makes his Test debut, and he takes 6 for 36. could have got him in a bit earlier if he's going to come on and the world stage and do that.
Yeah, exactly. What an epic. We saw when Pakistan were in England, they're actually a very, very good team. It's sometimes hard with Pakistan cricket to keep up with all the moves and shakers and people coming in. You've no idea where they've just come from and they come in and score a shed load of runs. A lot of politics. But they're a really good team, and this bowling attack is really good. Wahab Riaz opening the bowling with Mohamed Abbas. That's one of my favourite opening bowling attacks in world cricket right now.
Yeah. They're a fun team to watch. They played really well in England, didn't they? And they just are a fun team to watch. They've got plenty of players. It's a shame we don't get to see a little bit more of them, to be honest. And it sets it up really nicely for the next game. Pakistan will be kicking themselves that they couldn't get this over the line. Not the easiest places to play. Really, really good with the ball, for the ball, or really good with the bat. One way or the other on these surfaces. So. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they go next game. I hope this will give Australia plenty of confidence, but I fancy Pakistan still. But Australia have shown that they're going to be tough to beat, and we'll have to see who steps up in the next game.
So talking of fourth inning rear guard efforts, whenever I talk about fourth innings, saving the match, the one that always comes to mind, Rich, is Michael Atherton, Johannesburg, second test, 95, was it? Yep, 1995. Now, I'm just putting this in context to how good Atherton's innings. Everyone's going, this Khawaja innings is absolutely fantastic, and it is. 302 balls, 524 minutes, and the team batted 139 overs. England, against South Africa in 1995 in Atherton's innings, incredibly got 351 for 5 off 165 overs, and Atherton, 185 not out off almost 500 balls in 643 minutes.
Comparable. I like it. Atherton's still the Don, isn't he, when it comes to rearguard action?
It is.
He's up there with Monty Panazar, mate.
You know who really helped that match? So 351 for 5, batted all that time. Stewart got a few runs and Robin Smith batted and Jack Russell batted that incredible knock. He scored 29 runs and a strike rate of 12 off 274 balls. You know who really helped at number 3?
No.
Mark Ramprakash, out second ball, bowled Brian McMillan.
Oh, Ramps, what were you doing?
Never quite took off, did he?
No, not at all. But let's not worry about him anyway. But this is heck of a couple of test matches. It's really interesting to see what Australia are going to be like as a team now, isn't it? And it's on to Abu Dhabi, Rob, for the second test on the 16th. So what day is that? Wednesday. We have some cricket again. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any changes. And if there is a way of Australia getting a win. I still fancy Pakistan for that, big time.
Yeah, I fancy Pakistan. I fancy Pakistan for the series. But staying in the subcontinent, and we kind of touched on it last podcast, Rich. PP Shaw came to the show last podcast and we was talking about how great he was. But the test match has now been wrapped up in India.
Yeah, we saw a comprehensive win for India in the first test, beating the touring Windies in Rajkot. Obviously, as you said, young opener and superstar in the making, Prithvi Shaw, rightly named man of the match. He got himself that mammoth scored in 134. Virat Kohli 139, 100 not out for Jadeja. We went through all this last time. Rishabh Pant 90, 86 Bajara, and I'm still giggling over KL Rahul going out fourth ball of the innings. And then sitting there and watching another 149 overs. Just love that. West Indies batted twice, but just could not really get a foothold in the game. A 53 for Austin Chase in the first innings with Chemo Paul. 4 wickets for Ravi Ashwin, 2 for Mohammed piece for and Kuldeep Yadav. Second innings for West Indies, they tried to hang around. 83 for Powell, who was opening the batting with Captain Craig Berrythwaite. And then there was just a few bits of scores. 17 for Hope, Shimron Hetmyer 11, 20 for Chase, 60 not out for Shane Dowd. Just not good enough, really. 2 for 71 for Ravi Ashwin, 5 for 57 for Kuldeep. He bowled them to victory. And 3 for 35 for Ravi Jadeja, who had a heck of a test match. PP Shaw and Lewis was making his debut as well for West Indies in this one. But it was comprehensive, Rob, and there was only going to be one winner, wasn't there, after that first day and a half? Yeah,
good to see Kuldeep Yadav back in the outfit. He was a horses for courses kind of selection in England based on his one-day performance, but it's good to see that India are showing faith in the young lad because he is a hell of a talent, and this is his first real go at making an impact on the world stage. To me, 15 wickets in 4 Test matches, so Good on him. Good on him for to be there and to win. Slightly disappointed by the output of the West Indies team, because this West Indies team is better than what it used to be. It's definitely grown over the last few years, but a bit disappointed that they went out there and got rolled in the first. But the second Test match is underway, Rich.
It is, and first thing I've got to mention about this one, after carrying drinks all over England, Indian seamer Shardul Thakur finally made his debut in the second Test, Rob. We were talking about it in India, wasn't we? I think I mentioned it a couple of times. It'd be nice to see him get a game.
Yeah.
Well, second Test Day started pretty well. He got his cap. Test player number 264 for India. Half an hour later, he's in his second over, fourth of the game. Groin injury. It's gone. He's gone. Bad bit of luck, mate. Bad bit of luck for him. West Indies, they ended up getting 311. 106 for Austin Chase. He's the guy that seems to have made some runs. Jason Holder, captain, 52 down the order. A few starts, Shy Hope, 36. 6 for 88. Umar Shadab opened the bowling run. Awesome effort from him. Yeah. Brilliant. The guy that opened the bowling with Umar Shadab, Shiv Thakur, none for 9 off 1.4 overs. That's him done for the day. Everybody else, 26 overs, 24 overs, 29 overs, 20 overs. Shiv's gone. He's got his foot up. He's got his ice pack on.
Yeah.
He's not had anything more to do. He's just sat in there, isn't he? So they're not sure whether he's going to be available to bowl in the second Test, the second innings or not yet. So obviously they'll be checking that out. But that's a shocking bit of luck for a fella that's kind of really been patiently waiting for his debut for quite some time. Picking up the Test of where it is, India are batting at the moment. PP Shaw, he got himself 70. Not a bad start to Test cricket. 70 off 53 balls, Rob, as well. It's worth mentioning. Compare and contrast, Bajara at number 3, 10 off 41. So it's not to say that it's just really easy conditions. Pretty sure it just seems to be an absolute class act. 45 for Virat Kohli. Jason Holder trapped him in front. And then it's a nice partnership here. Rahane 75 not out and Rishabh Pant 85 not out. Quite a patient innings for Pant as well, off 120 balls. So well in control, India. 308 for 4. Obviously, a deficit of just 3 runs. So really, they're going to be looking to bat West Indies out of the game for the remainder of this first innings. And you can't look past India for another win.
No, you can't. You definitely can't. It's a stronger West Indies team this game, with having people like Jason Holder in the mixer. But PP Shaw, man, that kid has got talent oozing. Look at KL Rahul. KL Rahul will not play in the next time India play a Test match. Let me just put that out there. There's too many fails. It's a constant thing, and he keeps getting bowled or LBW. So all you do is you bowl straight, and he gets himself out. He got 4 off 25. But PP Shaw was cruising. 132 strike rate opening the batting. I've not seen that since Verinder Sehwag was in his pomp. And the only reason he got out is because he hit the ball straight at extra cover.
Hit it too well, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, literally hit it too well. So it's a strong Indian team. It looks like, barring weather or a miracle, they're going to go 2-0 up in this Test match and wrap up the series and off to the one-day internationals.
Yeah, that's it. It's game over, really, isn't it? I mean, I know they're only 3-run difference at the minute, but I just cannot look past India just going on and getting a good lead, 100, 150 lead in this first innings, and then they're in the box seat. They're going to put pressure on West Indies. We'll see a middle order go down. There might be a little 1 or 2 players. Ross and Chase seems to be doing pretty well at the minute. He's got some grit and got some fight in him, as has 1 or 2 others. But I just can't look past India. They're just too strong. And I've just got to say, Prithvi Shaw, God love him, but Jesus Christ, he's annoying. How the hell can you be that good at that age? How can you just take the step up in Test cricket and be that good? God, that is annoying.
Here's one for you as well. Rishabh Pant, he had a terrible time in England, Rich. And then
he had an average time in England. Let's leave him a little bit.
He was pretty bad, and then he got that 114 in the final innings. And then since then, he made 92 in the last Test match, which was quite incredible. And now he's gone and he's on 85 not out here. So taking his time to get into Test cricket, but playing in England is a hell of a lot of difference from playing at home against the West Indies.
Oh, big time. And he was having to concentrate on his wicket keeping in England with that ball swinging around, especially after the bat. That was what he was kind of occupying his mind and his time when he was back here. So, yeah, he's just a talent, isn't he? You know, from the IPL last year, we wanted to see him in the Test side or in the Indian setup as quick as possible. And we keep saying it. These young fellas, there is so much young talent around in India. They're getting them in. I know we've got criticisms coming left, right, and centre sometimes from the selectors and from the coaches and all the rest of it with Indian cricket. But they are getting these young fellas in. What we've got to remember as well is every time they pick a side at the moment, there's going to be people annoyed because they've got so many good players. You could put another Indian Test side out at the moment and you'd still be a heck of a side. So, just embarrassment of riches at the minute. But I'm so pleased that they are going with some of these young blokes and they're repaying the faith, aren't they? Rishabh Pant, bit of patience with him. He's showing it. Pretty sure. Oh, my, just what on earth? Where has he come from?
What on earth?
Yeah.
Two other guys I kind of want to pencil out of this Indian lineup. Rahane. So I was very critical of him in England, but they came out and said, hey, Rahane is one of the pillars of this Indian team, but he 100% needs to go and convert this score. He had a very average tour of England, 2 scores above 50, got 41 in the first Test match. This guy needs some runs. He's 30 years old. He's got to make it happen. And Lokesh Rahul, I wanted him so badly in this Indian team. In England, he got 150 and he got 149 in that final innings at the Oval. But by the time the series has been and gone, he got a duck against West Indies in the first Test and he's got to fail here. Question marks around who is going to open with PP Shaw in the next time that they play a game for me.
Yeah, and there are the players in this squad, aren't they, that were pushing really as well. You know, they've got Agarwal and Vihari. They would have been disappointed not to have got a game in this one. Karun Nair can't even get in the squad. So, yeah, embarrassment of riches, as we say, isn't it?
So, continuing flying around the world, Rich, because this is around cricket world in about 60 minutes, we're going to fly in and we're going to touch base in South Africa. That's a South African accent, if you didn't know. It was an average South African accent, but it was a try nonetheless. Because they are hosting Zimbabwe. 3 one-days, 3 T20 internationals.
6-0, mate. It's going to be 6-0, mate.
6-0, spoiler alert.
That's it. Moving on. Next series. No. We joke. South Africa, it's going to be 6 from 6. They play Zimbabwe on Sunday, so tomorrow in the third and final T20. They've already won the ODI series 3-0. T20's 2-0 up. Pretty impressive stuff from the Proteas, wouldn't you say? I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Doing the job. Doing what they should do.
Pretty good. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So let's roll it back a little bit. Travel back in time, 30th of September, first ODI, starts in Kimberley. Zimbabwe, 117 all out. That didn't start well, did it? Captain Hamilton Masakadza, 25. Elton Chigumbura, 27. Rabada, 2 for 34. Imran Tahir, 2 for 23. The brilliant Lungi Ngidi, 3 for 19 off 8.1. Awesome stuff from him. And this is the guy, Rob. This is the name. This is the one. This is the test. Andil Peflequea. 2 for 22.
Nailed it.
Do you know what? I really should be doing a David Warner there, shouldn't I, for that pronunciation? I should be like pointing my back to all corners of the living room, ripping my shirt off, doing a Ketsbayer from Newcastle, ripping my shirt off, throwing my boots into the crowd. Pronounce his name. Someone would be telling me I did it wrong.
Give it the Warner. You deserve it, mate.
Just for pronouncing a name that I probably did ordinarily. Anyway, 117. They made a bit of a fist of it going back. So South Africa, 119.5, 26.1, half. They just needed half the game to do it. Aidan Markham, 27, Heino Klassen, 44, and Dumini and Mulder took him over the line. Jatara, 2 for 12, and Wellington Masakadza as well, 2 for 26. So easy win. And Giddy even got his man of the match for his 3 for 19 off 8 overs. He ripped the heart out of them. 1-0, easy game.
Very easy game when you put it like that. There's a bit of beast mode going on by this South African team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they've moved over to Bloemfontein, Rob. And I'll be honest, it's a bit of a strange one because obviously the first game it was a bit of a cruise, wasn't it? 117 all out, but then 119 for 5 just suggested maybe a little bit of a crack in the armour of, or a chink in the armour either of South Africa. But in the second game, they got up to 198 in the first innings, all out. Markham 35, Dale Steyn 60. Yes, the same Dale Steyn 60.
Wow.
Wickets shared about for the Zimbabweans. Carl Jarvis, 2 for 26. Chitara carried on his good form, 3 for 42. Donald Tirapano, I love that name, 2 for 37. And Brandon Mavutu, 2 for 48. Zimbabwe in reply, oh, lads, what you doing? Hamilton Masakadze was the only person of note to get some runs, 27. There were 78 all out. Imran Tahir, 6 for 24. The man still got it. And Dale Steyn, all-rounder Dale Steyn, 2 for 19, gets himself a Man of the Match award.
Useful.
Not a bad return for the South African legend.
Yeah, doing all right for himself back in this lineup. But if you're going to come back and you're going to work your way back into playing international cricket, against Zimbabwe, it's not a bad first test.
I wouldn't mind a go, I'll be honest. So, made it 3 from 3. They moved over to Pal and Zimbabwe 228. So they better fist of it with the bat first innings. Masakadze 28. Brendan Taylor, the ex-Nottinghamshire player, 40. Sean Williams 69 and Tirapano 29. Dale Steyn again 3 for 29. Tahir 2 wickets. Rabada 3 for 32 and Peflaquea 2 for 34. In response, it took 45 and a half, well, nearly 46 overs for South Africa to knock them off. 231 for 6. Aidan Markham, again, making a score, but not going on. 27, 35 and 44 in the 3 games. Slowly building it up. Should we, if he'd have played a 5-game series, he'd have got himself to 50 at last. Reza Hendricks, 66 and Klaasen, 59. Tirapano, 2 for 35. So Heino Klaasen, man of the match, 3-0. Let's go home. Done.
Yeah, job done. Easy performance in a weird series. Not many runs going on. A very, very strange series. Bowler dominated. Good performances by Imran Tahir throughout the series. 10 wickets and an average of 9. That's ridiculous.
He's still got it, hasn't he? He's an old boy now. He's getting on a little bit. Probably been a little bit disrespectful to him, but he seems to just keep going and keep getting better.
Yeah, he definitely does. But it's the result that we would expect, right?
100%.
This Zimbabwe team, right? They have won 4 series in one-day international cricket since 2011. They are on one of the worst barren runs since barren runs began, mate. And those victories that they've got are Bangladesh, Ireland, and a very, very poor Sri Lanka team.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good. You always hope that they're on the way around. Easy for me to say in turning it around. But they just keep stumbling backwards, don't they? 1 step forward, 2 back, all that sort of stuff. And you think that they're doing well. The World Cup qualifiers, they were brilliant in that. Hosting it in Zimbabwe, they were brilliant. But then it just imploded. Nonsense off the field, people not being paid, people losing jobs, people retiring because of it. It was just a ridiculous situation. Zimbabwe cricket is in a shambles at the moment. And I'm talking about off the field. The guys that are playing, they're making, they're doing what they can. They're making a fist of it. Then it's not a young team. A lot of these guys are in the 30s. This is not a group of young fellas coming through feeling their way into cricket. This is a bunch of guys that probably shouldn't be playing. If everybody was available, they probably wouldn't be these teams coming out and playing against South Africa. So it's a tough old time for Zimbabwe cricket, and you just hope that they can get people like Heath Street back involved after the nonsense with him. And look to kind of get a little bit stronger again, but they're not looking like they're anywhere going to be close to it at the moment.
Yeah, correct. You know what they could really do with?
What, Rob?
A slow trundler that throws it down the leg side by the name of Edo Brandes, the chicken farmer.
Oh, Edo, brilliant. Yeah. We won't talk about his famous sledging quote, will we, to Glenn McGrath?
No, we won't. We won't talk about that. Or David Lloyd's, we flipping murdered him.
Yeah, they were dark days. I used to love it. I remember when Zimbabwe first started kind of getting around the world cricket scene, and I remember sitting watching it on Sky when I was quite young. And I can't remember which ground it was, but it just looked the most incredible scenery. And it was just always, from that moment, it's like, I want to go and tour Zimbabwe. And then all kind of went to shit, didn't it, with Home Mugabe. So yeah, that's kind of been delayed, hasn't it? But and then they've never really clawed the way back to where they were. But at one point, they were a cracking side. I think we mentioned it before, didn't we? You can reel off about half a dozen of their players in no time, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. You had the Flowers, Campbells, Whittles, Houghton, Strangs, Brandes, Streak.
Obviously, Streak, yeah.
They were a team. They were a team, man.
Yeah, just a shame, isn't it? But yeah, you hope they'll come back. But it's certainly not happening at the moment, and it's not happening in the T20 either, Rob. First gate, East London, not that East London, the other one. South Africa 160 for 6. Duplessis was back 34 of 20. Rassie van der Dusen, great name, 56 of 44. And David Miller, 39 for 44 before he went to... he must be going playing somewhere else at the moment. He can't just be playing in South Africa, surely. Jarvis 3 for 37, Chris Mapufu 2 for 24, and Zimbabwe in response fell short. 126, 17.2 overs they were dismissed. South Africa won by 34. Peter Moore 44 off 21 and Mavuti 28 off 14, not out. Imran Tahir 5 for 23, Junior Dala 2 for 25, Pef Leclerc 2 for 25. He loves a 2 for that lad does. And then Giddy 1 for 7 off 3 overs. Incredible performance from him again. Imran Tahir, man of the match once more.
Yeah, fair play. He's just a beast. You know how old he is? He's almost 40.
Exactly. How many man of the matches must he have had in T20 cricket?
3.
There's a stat.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
3. Oh, we need to have a dig. Who's got the most man of the matches in just international in T20s? Full stop.
Yeah, he won't be far off. Him and Rashid Khan, I think, will be close.
I bet. Yeah, he's had about having every game he plays in just about his man of the match, isn't he? So anyway, second T20, Rob. That's where we're getting us up to date. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Potchefstroom. I can't say that word.
That's the first one in leading edge cricket history that you've got stuck on.
Potchefstroom. I don't know why I keep going up at the end as well. It's not like I'm asking it as a question. It's a location. Anyway, in that place, Zimbabwe batted first, 132 for 7. Masakadza 21, Brendan Taylor 29, and Williams 41. Ngidi 2 for 36, Patterson 2 for 22, and Robbie Freiling 2 for 20. The 30-odd-year-old all-rounder. South Africa 35 for 4 in response, knocked him off with 4.2 overs left. Quinton de Kock 26, Glasson 22, Duminy 33 not out, and Miller 19 not out. Williams 2 for 25. Dane Patterson getting the man of the match award in this game. South Africa winning by 6 wickets. So we can't expect anything else than a South Africa win on tomorrow. And it'll be a 6-0 wrap-up, won't it? That's all we can expect.
Yeah, easily done. Imran Tahir, probably the man of the series throughout them both so far. Most wickets in T20s, most wickets in ODIs. It's not even close, is it? And I bet it's not very good cricket to watch, unfortunately. But I am going to drop some knowledge on you here, Rich.
Oh, I can't wait.
I say rubbing my hands. Coming from the word potshurf, meaning broken pot due to the cracks that appear in the soil at Moy River Valley during the drought. That is Potchefstroom. That is why it's called that. There you go.
Cracking.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was bad.
Yeah, it's... I quite like it though. But yeah, it's a disappointing series. It's good to see Zimbabwe playing, but the actual production and output that they produce it's almost not worth any airtime because it's such a sad state. It would be a really good podcast or a really good article if one of the writers can get stuck into why Zimbabwe cricket is in such a big mess. But that is for another time.
Political dissertation. I love the way our expectations have been lowered to such a point where it's like, well, at least they're playing. Could be worse.
It is. It's like, you've got kids and they've got a football team. And you've always got the one kid that doesn't play that much or is terrible at football but still in the team and the parents are like, at least he's involved.
He's a trier. Yeah. God loves a trier.
Yeah, I was talking to one of our friends the other day and he was telling me about the football team that he coaches and they conceded a goal and he looked where his centre-back was, little 8-year-old, and his centre-back was doing roly-polies down the pitch.
Kid's got a future in the game.
Conceded another goal. The centre-back was shooting little pretend guns at the clouds in the sky. I was in stitches when I heard it. It was one of the funniest things because we've all been there as kids. And like, if he was on my team, I would have been chewing him a new one.
Oh, that's genius. You know for a fact this kid could not give less of a crap about football. Does not want to do it, but his dad's like, you will go and play football, son. Come on, enjoy it. I need me $100,000 a week Premiership footballer. Yeah, and he's like, pow.
Roly-poly down the pitch.
Putting holes in the clouds. Oh, I've got a lot of time for that kid. Awesome. I think he should be everyone's spirit animal.
It's all about being free and comfortable with yourself, Rich, these days, and that kid is very comfortable.
Oh, don't grow up, kid. Don't grow up.
Don't do it.
Genius.
So let's roly-poly our way round. And we've spent a lot of time in the subcontinent. We might as well continue to be there as we've got England-Sri Lanka action. First one-day international is in the books. Bit moist, but it's in the books. And the second one-day international is now in the books as well, Rich.
It is, Rob. It is, and England have got themselves a win. We predicted, and we kind of anticipated that England would do pretty well in this ODI series. So they've got themselves a win. Obviously, first game abandoned in the first innings, so there wasn't much cricket, but just getting us up to date. England were 92 for 2 off 15 overs when the rain came in and when it was abandoned. Roy and Bairstow opening 24-25 respectively, and 15 not out and 14 not out for Root and Morgan. Yeah, disappointing really, that one. Ollie Stone made his debut, got his cap, but obviously didn't get a chance to contribute. And it's just the way it is. Sri Lanka, when it rains, it properly rains. Second ODI as well, Duckworth-Lewis were well involved in this one, Rob. England batting first, 278 for 9, pretty good score. Yeah. Owen Morgan seems to be in really, really good form. In the warm-up games as well, he looked pretty good. 92 for Morgan, Root for 71 again, he's looking in good form at the minute. Josh Butler 28 and Bairstow 26. Lassie Malinga, Rob, 5 for 44. The man is bringing it all back, isn't he? Slower ball central. He looked quality. We're celebrating those wickets, pointing to the name on the back of the shirt. Looked like Nasser Hussain, but just less angry. So he got 5 for 44. In response, Sri Lanka, the top of the order was kind of disjointed, let's say, ripped apart by England. Chris Wokes 3 for 26. Ollie Stone at 1 for 23. Sri Lanka 140 for 5. Kusal Perera got 30 down the order. And then Dana De Silva, this is what we're going to call him, not Dana Jaya, it's Dan De Silva, anything like that, Rob. 36 not out, and Tisara Perera 44 not out. They were doing pretty well. They were rebuilding, but it wasn't enough. 29 overs gone. Duckworth-Lewis said England well ahead. England get the win, 1-0 to England.
Yes, this Sri Lanka team is what we expected from the batting. It's pretty shaky and average. We do expect England to win this series, but I put a tweet out going, winning in Sri Lanka is still a massive, massive deal, and it means a lot to win there because it's so hard to do. But if you're ever going to do it, it's against this Sri Lankan team. Now, I got to see quite a bit of the first innings, England's. Johnny Bairstow. Bairstow, I put out quite a few tweets about this. He's a phenomenal cricketer, mate. And his one-day record over the last 3 years is 1,700 runs, 600s, an average of 54. But Johnny Bairstow might be in the worst form that I've seen him in an England shirt since when he was a young lad. And it started when he got that break on his finger. Was it in the first test match? He got 70 and then he broke his finger or something like that. And since then, he's not been able to get the bloody thing off the square. And he was struggling to get the thing off the square here. He was just going, he's a hard-handed player. But he's like he was on 10 Red Bulls before he went out to bat with how hard his hands were going at the ball, mate. It was incredible.
He's definitely... Yeah, he's definitely feeling for it, isn't he? And again, I don't mean in the literal sense, but he's just really feeling for form at the minute. He's really trying to, he's working hard to try and get there. But I think we go back to Lord, 93 at Lord's, Rob, and then it's 15 non, 6 non 18, 3 in the warm-up, 25 in the last game, 26 in this one. He's struggling. Simple as that. And he doesn't look like he's enjoying it. The face he made when he got out, he doesn't look like he's enjoying himself. So I just hope that he does kind of, get that form back as soon as possible. And it should be disruptive. It should be destroying, shouldn't it? Jason Roy at the top of the order. Bairstow. Jason Roy, none. Only lasted 4 balls. Malinga got him. It's going to be interesting to see. But Root and Morgan are the absolute backbone of this side. Yeah. They can play patient innings. 71 off 83 for Root. Morgan at 92 off 91. Just superb. So they just keep going. So, yeah, Bairstow's the guy. We're on Bairstow watch at the minute, aren't we? We don't want to put too much pressure on the guy, but we are on Bairstow watch.
Yeah, Joe Root was phenomenal, mate. He had about 40 off about 25 balls at one point. He was timing the pants off it. Slowed down towards the middle of the innings, and unfortunately for Joe Root, he got out at a really average time to get out. He got out in the 28th over. He had another 7-8 overs of just knocking the ball around and getting himself up to 90 and getting a really big 100, but just really average. But Ewan Morgan's he's reinvigorated with the white ball. He's been a decent white ball cricketer for a long, long time for England, but his form had wavered over this year. Slightly disappointingly wavered as well, I must say. But as of late, on this tour, he's looking really good. 91 not out in the warm-up, 92 in this game, 14 not out in the last game. It's what you need out of this England captain with the lineup you've got. You need Root and Morgan to really set the score and set the the direction of the innings to give Stokes, Butler, Moeen Ali, and Roy and Bairstow at the top of the order that ability to play with freedom.
Yeah, you do. You definitely need that, Rob. Yeah, and it's an interesting one, isn't it? Hale's nowhere, doesn't seemingly completely out of the picture at the minute. So you got those two boys to get them through a good start, haven't you? But it's nice to have the class of Root and Morgan, isn't it? It's really solidify and let things kind of build from there. And I've just having a look. Josh Butler's done pretty well, and I'm just having a quick look. He did really well when I was over in Sri Lanka watching some ODIs. So I'm expecting big things from him. He's not quite got going yet, but yeah, this England batting lineup is a little bit. I don't know. It's not quite cooked. Cooking at the minute, is it? Moeen Ali got a first baller. Woke's only got 5. Dawson. We bat down to 10 with Adil Rashid, really, and no disrespect, Ollie Stone. Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, let's second innings, Rob. What do you reckon with the ball? Did you see Ollie Stone's dismissal, his first wicket?
I've seen the highlights. I've seen a little video on Twitter about it because it was during the night out here. But It was quick. It was quick. It was short. Yes. It was a good line, and it was good. It was good bowling. But I've not seen his spell to see. Oh yeah, he was really good, or oh yeah, he was really bad. I've just seen the wicket.
Yeah, I mean, he went for 2 boundaries, a couple of wides, but 3.83 was his economy off his 6 overs. But yeah, that wicket, that's the one. I mean, sometimes all you need to see is one ball, isn't it? Just to kind of go, this fella's got something.
Yeah.
So keep fit, keep yourself firing, and yeah, it could be interesting to see how he goes. So it's an interesting one, especially with the combination of Woke's opening as well. 2 very different types of bowlers there as well, different kind of questions, different issues to overcome as batsmen. So I like that. Liam Dawson, Ali, and Rashid, obviously the other 3 bowlers, 3 spinners getting the ball. So. Ben Stokes, he was another option as well. So this is a pretty good and pretty well balanced England team. You just need to make sure 1 or 2 players maybe just put a performance in.
Yeah, definitely. So where did they go to next? We've got 3 more one-days left, Rich.
We move up to the mountains, up to the hills, even into Kandy for the 3rd ODI. That plays on Wednesday, so they've got a bit of time. I guess it's Dambulla's more in the north, but Kandy's up in the hills still as well. So it's going to be hopefully the weather will be a little bit better across that way, but we shall see. It looks really, really. I mean, it's a gorgeous country. It's gorgeous weather. It's probably still 30 degrees, but when it rains, like I said, it properly rains. So. Just need to make sure there isn't any more of that, and I'm sure it'll be a heck of a series to kind of wrap things up. So the 3rd game in Kandy, and then I think 1 more in Kandy after that, and then they move down to Colombo for the 5th game before they get into the T20.
So the last tiki tour around the world, we're going to stop in at UAE for the very first edition of the Afghanistan Premier League, Rich.
Oh, I love this. I love it. Give me a slightly obscure T20 tournament around the world and I'm involved. Just love it. It's brilliant, isn't it? It wasn't that long ago where we were looking at Afghanistan cricket and going, oh my God, Afghanistan got a cricket team. How nice is that?
Yeah.
Isn't that good? And then suddenly they start making a bit of a name for themselves. Then they start going up. And then suddenly we start to get to know some names. And then suddenly we have players in IPL. And then suddenly they start beating everybody. And now they've got their own Premier League, Robbie. It's in Sharjah. And it's awesome. It's a 5-team tournament. And it's got some names as well. I mean, first off, team names. Where we're up to at the minute, I think we're 13 games deep. The Balk Legends are top. Kabul Zwanan a second. The Paktia Panthers third. I watched Black Panther last night again, so maybe that'll be my team. Nangarhar Leopards, and then Kandahar Knights. Kandahar Knights is a solid name, but they haven't won a game, so maybe the team isn't as solid as their name. So yeah, it's a first incarnation of the tournament, as you said, and absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, what could be better than Afghanistan having their own competition, Rob?
I know, it is awesome, and it's not too big. 5 teams, there's about 20... Oh, where are we? 19, 20, 21, 22 games in total in the competition. And like we were saying earlier on the podcast, there's a whole heap of players that everyone will be familiar with. I'm just going to roll off some names here. So the Paktia squad has got Callum McLeod. I'm just putting it out there. He's the Scottish guy that got the 100 against England. Luke
Yeah.
Wright's got a game out there. Chris Jordan's got a game. Shida Freedy is their icon player. So every team gets an icon.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good
Nice.
players.
Like on Madden.
Yeah, very similar to Madden. Kabul squad, their icon player is Rashid Khan. Surprise, surprise.
Solid. Yep.
Luke Ronk is out there. Colin Ingram, Sahel Tanvir, Wayne Parnell, who we spoke about on the last podcast, newly English Wayne Parnell, and Ali Khan.
Excellent. The American.
Yeah, he's getting himself a game. The Belka squad, icon player, yeah man, Chris Gale.
Can you stop doing accents tonight?
Chris Gale. I actually quite like the... did you say Belka or top?
Yes, I believe I did.
This is why. So they've got Chris Gale,
legends.
Colin Munro, the man, the myth, the legend, Ravi Bapara.
Woo! Yep.
Mohammed Irfan.
Irfan.
Ryan Tendashkara.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very strong. The Nangarhar squad, icon player, Dre Russell.
Oh, Dre Russ, love that man.
Tamin Iqbal, he's going to play in any 2020 league that's ever been created, so he's out there. Mujib Rahman is out there as well for this team. Ben Cutting.
Brilliant.
And then we're into a few Kiwis. We've got Mitch McClenaghan, Mushtafika Rahim, Mohammed Hafiz. It's so much easier when you do the names, you know. And here we go. Sandeep Lamashani.
Oh, Sandeep Lamachani, I love that. He just rolls off, he does. So, so which squad was that? That was Kabul, wasn't it? Just going back to Balk Legends for a second. Gulbuddin Naib, he's been playing really well, hasn't he, for Afghanistan in internationals of late. So that's a big one as well. So let me see if I can pick one or two out of it. I love that Ali Khan's playing, by the way, Rob.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. That's fantastic. It's great to see Laurie Evans as well. He's a hell of a player. Doesn't really get the recognition in county cricket, I don't think, but he's an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
One of our friends, Chris Tall, who isn't returning my text message at the moment, obviously he's a Warwickshire fan, so he's a big fan of Laurie Evans. Just awesome. Absolutely think this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant that this tournament is going on at the moment. Kandahar Knights, they should be my team, but I'm just looking over the squad. Asghar Afghan. Loves his country that much, he changed his surname.
You know what, I was just about to mention, what a great name.
Yeah, I'm sure he did change his name because of that as well. And they've got some other homegrown players, Najibullah Zadran, Mohammed Naveed as well. Sorry, Ozzy's playing Mohammed Naveed, shut up, Rich. Najibullah Zadran is certainly in there though. But yeah, Paul Sterling, players like that. Ricky Vessels, ex-Nottinghamshire, we can call him that now. Love it, love the tournament. Love the idea of the tournament. Obviously, we're not getting to watch any of it, but we can see who's doing what. And let's have a little look. We've spoke about some of these names, Rob. Anton Devcic. If there's a tournament going on in the world, a Kiwi will be there. He's got 239 runs. He's leading the way. Laurie Evans, who we spoke about, he's in second. Hazratullah Zazai, 209. Ryan Tender Scarter. I will say it the proper way, not the way I usually say it. And then Mohamed Shahzad topping it out. Anyone else on that list? Sikandar Raza, Rob. He should be playing for Zimbabwe at the moment, but his nose was put out of joint by the management. So he's playing in the Afghanistan Premier League, and he's 140 runs in 4 innings. Yeah,
Cameron Delport's playing over there, the South African lad. Colin Munro, Luke Ronke, they're all scoring runs. Ravi Papara, 124 runs at a strike rate of 136. Should he be involved in the England setup? No, just me then.
Yeah, Brendan McCullum. What's going on, Brendan McCullum? Averaging 16.8 in his 5 knocks, only 84 at a strike rate of less than 100. Sort yourself out, McCullum.
I know. That is not Brendan McCullum-esque, is it?
No, maybe it's another Brendan McCullum, but we don't know.
Yeah, imposter. Kevin O'Brien. Is it Kevin O'Brien? Am I seeing Kevin O'Brien? Kevin O'Brien retired. I thought retired. No. Kevin O'Brien. Who is
Kevin's the one that's still going strong. It's Niall that's retired.
See, I thought Kevin O'Brien had retired because we were talking to Denmark Cricket a while ago, and Kevin O'Brien's involved in the coaching setup out there. But he's also playing in the Afghanistan Premier League.
Part retired.
Yeah,
semi-retired,
partially retired.
Partially retired.
It's awesome. I love these 2020 leagues that pop up around the world. Fortunately for me, Rich, these are on the work TVs most of the day, during the day, so I need to pay a little bit more attention and position myself so I'm looking at the TV.
Yeah, I like that a lot, mate. I like that you're getting that. So Looking at just a couple, looking at with the ball, there's not so many overseas names, let's say, with the ball, are there? Gulbuddin Naib is the top leading wicket taker alongside Mujibur Rahman, and then there is a Sri Lankan, Saru Undana. He's got himself 10 wickets, and Syed Shahzad, who's an Afghani, young fella, 24-year-old, he's also up there with 10 wickets as well, and Ben Cutting, the Aussie, he's there as well.
Yeah, the one that stuck out to me, I saw the name Zahir Khan on the list and went, what? What is Zahir Khan doing back playing? But it's a 19-year-old Afghanistan lad called Zahir Khan, not the Indian Zahir Khan.
There's a few Zahir Khans and stuff around the world, isn't there? So, brilliant tournament. Absolutely brilliant. Rashid Khan, just only 3 wickets in 5 games at the minute, best of 1 for 13. Is that the same Rashid Khan? Come on.
I don't know. Would the real Rashid Khan please stand up?
Exactly. Maybe getting too big for his boots, clearly. Not bothered about Afghanistan Premier League. Bowling left-handed.
So there's 13 games played. There's 7 more games left of the regular season. Each team plays 8 games, and then it goes to I think it's just one straight semi-final between second and third.
It's a traditional old-fashioned tournament. There's no eliminators. It's it's a semi and a final. What's all that about?
Big fan of that. Just straight semi-final, and the winner plays top of the league. So we'll keep a little eye on this as it goes along. But it is good fun to see things like this popping up around the world. You don't see Afghanistan going, oh my God, we need to create a 17-over contest, but say it's 104 balls to try and make it work. They're like, no, T20 cricket works around the world. It brings in superstars from around the world. Let's go do that.
Yeah, Rob's still upset.
It hurts. It hurts.
Right. I'm going to pin my allegiances. Kandahar Knights, Rob. They've not won a game yet. I'm telling you, they're coming. They're going to come on strong. They're going to get themselves into that semi-final. They're going to squeak in there, and then they're going to shock the world by winning the semi, and then they're going to take it in the final. Don't know where the confidence comes from, but just because they've not won a game yet, I'm going to go for them.
Yep. Okay. I think I'm going to. I support the worst teams in the world. Always have, always will. Growing up a Rochdale fan, there's not a lot to cheer about. I'm not a Glory fan, but I am going for Balka, who are top of the contest. And the only reason I'm going for them is they've got Ravi Papara.
Ravinder, love it. Yes, go for it. I've got no problem with that. Love the fact that he's out here. Who knows? Nobody knows. You know what? Talking all this T20 stuff, though, just reminded me, we forgot to mention earlier on and forgot to talk about it. Did you hear about Alex Hales signing a contract to go and play in Bangladesh Premier League, or whatever their equivalent tournament's called?
No, I didn't.
This is the same Alex Hales that refused to travel to Bangladesh a few years ago because of safety fears, but now suddenly someone dangled a few dollars on the end of a fishing rod, and he's it's all right now. The safety fears have been allayed, and he's going to travel over there and play some T20.
Well, he's making himself a lot of money doing it, so fair play to the bloke. At the end of the day, he's made his bed. I feel like I'm over it. I feel like, okay, he's not going to play red ball cricket. But yeah, why not go and get some money?
Yeah, exactly. I just find it quite amusing, and I think a few people have found it just a little bit of a chuckle that he didn't want to travel there with the England side a few years ago because of safety fears, but now he's quite happy to go over there.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. But yeah, who cares, mate? Fair play to him.
And that is around the world in about an hour and 5 minutes, Rich.
Love it. Done. Cricket world up to date. South Africa's going to be 6-0 by the time we record this again. India's going to be 2-0. England's probably going to be 3-0, 4-0 maybe. The world's going to be up, moving on.
And Balka would have won the APL. So there's no need to actually go and watch any cricket in the next week because you already know what's going to happen. So to finish the episode, Rich, I thought it might be quite good if we can finish it on a jovial note. So last time we had the David Warner celebration story. And here I kind of either want the listeners to comment with their funniest cricket stories or you come up with a funny cricket story. But I was reading one here and It's called Naked Ambition, or already puts me at unease. When the Aussie opening batsmen warm up for the 2013 first Test match at Trent Bridge, it's fair to say they won't do it in the same style that Jeff Marsh did. So in 1989, Jeff Marsh's teammate, David Boone, was woken on the morning of the opening rubber at Headingley to the unusual sight of his naked teammate standing in front of the mirror, completely naked. in helmet, batting gloves, and a bat, perfecting his straight drive.
Nice. That's a thing of beauty. That's proper. That's hey, just don't worry about it. Just practice your drive. Don't think about anything else. Who needs clothes?
Who needs clothes? That would be quite a sight, wouldn't it? First thing in the morning, you roll over, there's a bat wafting, you hope it's a bat wafting around your head, and someone's practicing the straight drive in Starkers.
Was he playing, was he anticipating the swinging delivery, maybe?
It probably was swinging a little bit, I guess. Hope he wasn't playing across the line.
Oh, early doors, it's always going to swing a little bit. So who was the man in the mirror?
It was Jeff Marsh.
It was Jeff Marsh. What on earth was he thinking about?
I don't know. Jeff,
That's
what
bizarre.
are you doing, mate?
That's bizarre. Where did that come from? I don't know, but I'm glad you found that out. Was that one of the pile of books that you've been reading, Rob?
Yes, it could be in one of these pile of books. There's more books than I know what to do with.
Charity shops closed up. They've got nothing else to sell.
Yeah.
Rob's cleaned them out.
The other one.
Exactly.
The other one that would that'd be good to touch on is sledges, Rich. So cricket is historic for sledges. Everyone loves a good sledge. But there's always levels of sledging that's all right and not all right. And, he's crossed the line. He called me something naughty. Well, back in the day, sledging was slightly different, wasn't it? And you could get away with a lot more, which caused some incredible sledges over the years. So I think it would be quite good to go, what are our favourite sledges of the last few years?
That's a good question. Are we going to ask people to let us know, and then we'll go through it next time?
We are. So if you guys know what your favourite sledges are of all time, let us know in the comments below. I'm just going to put one out there at the moment. Okay, so Mark Waugh, very famous Australian, and James Ormond of England. So upon Ormond's arrival at the crease...
Jimmy Ormond.
Jimmy Ormond.
Yeah, Leicestershire wobbler.
Right. So when he arrived at the crease, Mark Waugh said... Look who it is, mate. What are you doing out here? There's no way you're good enough to play for England. There are some four-letter words in the middle of that, but I'm choosing not to say them because mature.
Keep a few.
Jimmy Ormond, didn't play much for England, but turned around and said, hey, maybe not, mate, but at least I'm the best player in my family. Boom! Whee! Straight in the kisser.
Pow. Yeah, I like that one. I have been a little bit quiet while we've been talking about this because I wasn't sure which direction you're going in, because obviously I've not got the best track record of late with what you could describe as sledging, seeing as though I start next season with a two-match ban.
There is that small piece thrown into the mixer, but minor detail. Rich, for next time, you come back with your favourite sledge.
I will. And it's not going to be Edo Brandes, and you've done the Mark Waugh one, so we're going to have to find another one. There's a wicked Courtney Walsh one. And I can't remember the exact wording, but I'm just going to throw this one out there now. I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but somebody at one of our old dinners, Rob, for the cricket club at the end of the year. One of the speakers might have been a Robin Smith or a David Gray. It might be Robin Smith, wasn't it? And what was it? He was walking off when he was playing. Was it playing for Somerset? Would it have been?
Yep.
Courtney Walsh.
Yep.
Walking off, and one of the ladies who took a bit of a liking to him, one of the older ladies who was in the members area, said, "Oh, you're very tall, Courtney. Are you all in proportion?" And he turned around and said, "Lady, if I was all in proportion, I'd be 8'4". And on that note,
that is phenomenal. You can't coach that, can you?
Just legendary. Unlegendary. I think that's a good place to end the day.
It is, Rich. It's good fun, mate. Really enjoyed it. So much cricket. But I feel like we're actually up to date on cricket. We're there with the sledges. We'll be back with some more sledges next time. Rich, anything else from yourself today, mate?
No, not at all. And we want to talk about those retirees, the mass ranks of retirees soon as well. We will get that done as well.
We definitely will. Thank you so much for your time, mate. And thank you for listening. Till next time.